The Bible has perfect continuity. The Bible has perfect continuity. It's like it was written by one author that basically just, has a plot, and then there's subplots, and everything is intertwined perfectly together, pointing the same direction. I mean, it starts off, right? God creating 7 days. And then at the end of Revelation, you have, God destroying in 7, bowls of wrath. You have, God at the beginning, at the first of creation. There he is in the garden with a tree of life. Here he is at the end with a recreation in a garden with a tree of life. I mean, there's a lot of events that happen at the beginning that make no sense until the end of the story. I mean, God asking Abraham to sacrifice his only son Isaac makes no sense. And then God stops him before he does it. It makes no sense until you see, God is going to sacrifice his only son, but he's not going to stop that sacrifice. Or you have Moses in the wilderness, and he takes, this cursed object, a serpent, that has bitten the people and they're dying, and he holds it up and he says, anyone who will look on it and believe will be healed. That makes no sense until you see the Son of God, Jesus Christ, is put on a cursed object, the cross, and says everyone who looks on him will be healed and saved, right? I mean, that's what the Bible does. It's perfectly connected together. I mean, the temple with all the rituals and priests and sacrifices makes no sense until you see the end of the story and you realize, oh my goodness, this is a type of the throne room of God, and this is how you approach God. And Jesus is now the temple and the high priest and the ultimate sacrifice that gets us into God's presence. I mean, basically, if you just read the Bible, you go, oh my goodness, this is an amazing author that's able to weave together all these different ideas. Let me illustrate it like this. This is a silly illustration. But about 20 years ago, there was a sci-fi film that came out called Signs, okay? And basically, you have this minister who, his wife is killed in a car accident. And he goes to see her, and her final words were, tell my brother to swing away. Random what? And then he has these really strange things happening in his home. He's got a son who's asthmatic, who's always an inhaler because he's always having a hard time breathing. And then he has a daughter who basically has this obsession with drinking a little bit of water and then just leaving half-filled water glasses all around the house. And none of that makes sense until the alien shows up. And the alien grabs the boy and is going to snatch the boy. And the way that they do that is they poison their victims. And so there he is trying to poison the boy and capture him. But guess what? It doesn't work because he's asthmatic and he can't breathe it in. And then what happens? The dad says to his worthless son-in-law that's not good at anything except swinging a bat, grab the bat and swing away. And so he's swinging away and beating on this alien, and the alien starts backing up into all these, half-filled water glasses that spill on him, and they start to burn him and they kill him. And you didn't know any of that until the very end. All these random things, and suddenly that's how they were saved from the aliens. Now you read that and you go, well, that was pretty unique the way they weaved all that together, and it came together at the very end like that. Well, can I tell you the Bible does much more than that? Let me show you a picture, a visual picture of the Bible. And what you have here, this is all the connections of the Bible and the cross references. Let me explain it to you. What you have is you have all the books of the Bible in the bottom, right? You got Genesis and Exodus all the way to Revelation here, and you can see all the connections. This is, how many chapters are in each, book, and here you have the longest chapter right in the center. It's Psalm 119. You know what that's about? It's about the trustworthiness and the beauty of the Word of God. And then you go, what's all this rainbow stuff? Those are all the connections and the hyperlinks, Jordan Peterson says that the Bible is the first hyperlinked book before the internet. All these connections. Now, I just told you a story of the movie Signs that had 4 hyperlink connections. Do you know how many the Bible has? Jot this down. 63,779. 63,779. And you go, oh my goodness, just knowing that goes, what a master author created this book. Yeah. But here's the thing. This book was written by 40 different authors over 1,500 years on several continents, in 3 languages, Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. I mean, it was written by fishermen and soldiers and physicians and kings and scribes and prophets and farmers and slaves. And yet it all perfectly weaves together with one big story pointing to one big person, which is Jesus Christ. Now, let me ask you, how did that just happen? I'll tell you. You go, wow, it must have had a major, amazing general editor. Yeah, it did. God did this. That's the only explanation for this. Again, folks, you will not find any other book in human history like this.